Hi there, and welcome to episode 11 of the Spaceblock. I'm Icon, and today I'm pretty sure we can finally get the space matter production rolling. I think I have prepared successfully all the stuff we need. I have meticulously crafted a lot of things here. Assemblers, inserters, elbow pipes. I think we should have pretty much everything we need to get the job done, but you know how it is. At the end, there will be something I forgot. But let's see what will happen now until then. So first off, I want to connect these oil duplicators. And I already have pretty big plans in my mind. I mean, once we have the space matter production rolling, I will be finally capable of creating real smelter arrays. Real in the way as we will actually bring up capacities that are somewhat more realistic towards the late game and such. Can't wait to get there. But before we can get there, there's a lot of things we need to do. So let's check out one important thing. Oh yeah, okay. Let's connect these bad boys. Let's see. First thing I'm worried about is the ever-present question, do I really have enough pipes? Because most of the time, I don't. It's looking good so far. Okay. I think we just need to power it up now. And of course, insert oil to get the machine running. But luckily, by now, I have my own oil production machine. Isn't it beautiful? So we can just extract a couple of crude oil barrels and put them into the assembler. Quite excited to get finally the ball rolling here, honestly, because it has been a lot of preparation before the space matter production could be a thing. Alright, there we go. So, let's check it out. One of them ain't producing yet. Okay. Now, the only thing that's left to do... Oh, wait a sec. We have output only on these pipes. Is to connect this monstrosity. Alright, here we go. Sulfuric acid is done. And now, let's power up these machines. Insert some uranium ore. Oh, what the? Why do I have only 4 units of uranium ore? Oh, come on. Now that's a very, very unexpected troll moment here. I got literally only 1 piece of uranium ore. Too little. Okay, we will export these goods into this direction, I think. I hope. Well, let's just keep producing. I mean, ultimately, the 5th part of the uranium ore will come together. So it's going to be the same procedure as usual. We have output and input, because we duplicate the materials just like we duplicate them everywhere else. Okay, wow, that's unexpected. But like I said, I was only waiting for I was only waiting to see what I have forgotten this time. Well, this one is unnecessary. Okay, but I don't mind. We're just going to continue as intended, because basically the array is done, you know. We got this. It's all marked off. Now, we have to produce the other wonderful things here. So let's put that on a new pin. And let's just say we already crossed off that. And yeah, oh, I got the uranium ore. Nice. There we go. Now that machinery can start duplicating that stuff. And now we have to we have to produce these machineries here. So since we have 5 times 9 machines, that's going to be a little bit annoying. Couldn't it be 6 or 4? That would be at least some ratio that I could work with. So whatever, I can't change it. So I think I'm going to build this whole array up down here. So let's toss all that landfill we produced in there. It's draining so extremely fast at this point, but yeah. At some point I am considering bringing up a new landfill facility, but not yet, because we're not productive enough yet. So what has happened? Why is this empty now? Why do you guys have not enough oil to work with? Because we didn't duplicate it quick enough. Alright. So what has happened was that these machines drained themselves because they were transporting the oil directly over to this place without taking care for themselves. So we'll have to build a buffer in between, just like we do here. By the way, buffer, let's see. Do these tanks actually drain? No, not at all. Okay, so the method will be the same as before. I'll just install an extra refinery there to make sure that we don't have any drain. Just overproduce the necessary amount of oil. Should be good. Alright. To avoid any of these issues here, well, how do we want to do it? I think this is going to be a nice way. Let's turn them in here. Yeah, of course, we're out of pipes. But I did prophesize that. I knew it would happen. I can't remember when the last time I was really able to, when it was the last time that I was really able to do such a big plan without any complications or such. Okay. Let's toss in that oil. So, what's the matter, boys? What's wrong with them? They don't have the necessary amount. Ah, of course. We had a problem with these empty oil barrels. That's why it didn't go on. Okay, but whatever. We should be capable of doing it now. So I'm just waiting until this has filled some of the tanks, and of course we're just going to overproduce, just like I said, a little bit. And if it kept the other array stable, it could keep this one stable too. But if not, we'll have to work with a pump there. We'll see. I have discussed in the last episode how I could change that, or how I could prevent that from happening. Yeah, now I know what has happened. Yeah, I'm silly here. Of course I need to relay that stuff back into the grid here. And I'm surprised nothing does work. Yeah, well, I'm pretty new to these machinations, so of course we have to give some of that stuff back to the other machines, so the cycle can continue. I have that over here as well. So they produce that stuff, put it in here, but the tank then pipes it back in there, just forgot that this was a thing. Okay, let's give him some time, and we'll plug in that pipe in a minute, just to make sure that I have some pre-production rolling before I put it there. Yay, landfill. Quite quickly produced as well. But now it shouldn't be any issue anymore. We should be now overproducing generously, and let's see. But, you know, let's see. Nah. I have the feeling as if I would gimp myself if I don't let these reproduce accordingly. Alright, let's just start with a other part of the array, and once the oil tanks are full, I can return. Okay. Once these things are done, I'm going to put up real smelter arrays, and we're going to produce our 15 plates per second each, at least. Sounds like a big deal. In vanilla, it ain't a big deal, but here, out here in space. Okay, now we're going to weld these items together where? I mean, I am producing barrels here, and we need to have a cycling of these barrels too. God, this is so going to be so annoying. Or does it actually use up the crude oil barrels? We'll see. Okay, but first things first. We're going to set up now an array of 9 of these. 3. Then we're going to put the produce into this direction. And then we're going to put up, oops, these here. And now we're just going to continue like that. That's why I thought that it would be a pretty easy and quick thing to get the rest of the space matter production going. And iron. And sadly, copper does live alone. Can I install the copper over here? Oh yeah, I can. Awesome. I think at least it could work out. Yeah, if I make that longer, no biggie. We'll just use the whole belt here. Awesome. That's what I like to see. So here, that's also something that's giving me a good feeling. These machines are all starting to get their thing going. Okay, input, output, input, output. Okay, here we go. So now we can copy these thingies. Nanobots make the life so much easier. And now we copy that whole string. What's not to love about that? The fact that you need ammunition for those, probably. Talking about ammunition, there we go. Running out of iron plates? No biggie. We got that. This place here has turned into a massive buffer as well. Okay, so we got these things, and now, since all these machineries are working, I'm now brave. Since I wanted to wait until the machine that's actually bringing the extra energy in was working, or the extra materials, I should rather say. Go. That's all set up and running. The only thing we're missing now is the inserter job up here. And look at that! Guess who's out of blue inserters? Okay. Well, we can't do this yet, so we're going to do it later then. No problem. Let's kickstart a couple of these productions. So, am I out of wood? No. For a tiny moment, I was super afraid that I actually could be out of materials, and this is the wrong direction. You need to start the bottommost part. Oops. Silly me. Okay. Stone. Iron. And last but not least, copper. Okay. And now, of course, there's electricity in the way. Let's change this up for a moment because it's really important that we get the inserters up and running. Go. Let's just wire that up a little bit differently. Here we are. Okay, some copper. And at the end of all this will be the space matter thingies. And now let's check out if that all works out. So, does the total amount of these storage tanks increase or decrease? It should over time increase. So let's just remember that we were between 1.3 and 1.5k. Let's get back there in a minute and see what they'll do. It's the easiest thing that I can think of. Alright, so I'm going to need a couple of tier 1 assemblers because we actually planned it out so. And then that's going to be one belt of it. I'm wondering if it's this too narrow. Could be. No, it ain't. Awesome. But you know what? I want this turn it going this way. Alright. Hooray! Can't wait! This is a big moment for this run. Doesn't seem like it as much, but it is actually a lot. Okay, so what did I do wrong here this time? Oh, everything. No! Oh man, I totally messed it up here. Oh, dang. The whole array is wrong. It's the first time I do such a bogus. Yeah, well, all's fine when all's fine. We're going to deconstruct these thingies. Or wait a sec. Oh, this is actually not. This is actually not really helping. Okay, so once more with a little bit more of orientation. So here we're going to do it like that. And I just started at the wrong direction and therefore everything else went wrong. Well, I know a certain somebody who will tell me in time that I was wrong. That's okay though. Now we repaired it. Okay. So output, input, output, input. Gotta say this is kind of like pretty confusing too. Okay, so sadly we'll have to vacuum up here a lot of these resources right away. But, let's see. Coal, stone, iron, and wood. Okay, now it should actually work out as intended. Whoopsie! Okay. Now, basic inserters, oh my god, they will need a lot. So, per 2 resources, they'll need... Okay, no, it's no biggie. It just looks like we need a lot of inserters, but actually we don't. Okay. And then we're going to need a couple of extra red inserters. Nah, everything should work as intended, though. After a few moments. Coal will need a moment to be saturated, but at the end of the day, everything will be just fine. Okay. Here we go. Let's put up the input from this side. Then the juicy space matter. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some coal here to speed up things a bit. Just to kickstart a couple of these producers. There we go. Now, let's plug in some power here. That's a good moment here. Okay, and now we can create those space meta furnaces and all manner of different wonderful items. So, generates crude oil. Okay. Heats fluids for the duplication process. Oh yeah, that was, if I remember correctly, the space matter oil production is needing a different temperature of oil, but I'm not sure yet. I have to check that out. So, oh yeah, we lack the oil barrels. Oh my god. But that's gonna be no problem. But one thing, no, there's no oil barrel output. Was one of my biggest concerns. We need belts. Let's grab a couple of them. Okay, but with that out of the way, we're finally capable of putting up real production lines. And when I say real production lines, I'm talking about big smelter arrays. I'm going to figure out how we're going to set up these in between the course of this and the next episode. But overall, I'm very, very positive about what's coming up next. Okay, let's put up those here. And let's just string it up all the way over there. It's my first real long transportation belt in the whole series, basically. So there's one bad thing, though. It will, if I'm not mistaken, connect onto the wrong side of the belt. Or, no, actually, no. It should be totally fine. The only thing bothering me is that we can't put electric poles in here. Because them dudes here need to be capable of inserting them. And we're going to need a third inserter on each line. Ooh. That's escalated quickly. So we can't put it up like that. Yeah. Wonderful little complications when you have too many different things on your belts. But we're going to solve that issue too. My favorite way of doing this is going for a solution like that, where you simply string in a couple of extra consumers here, string in a couple of extra electrical poles here. Wonderful. Okay, and a sec. Here I'm going to do something odd. I'm going to use a filter inserter because I'm lazy. I want to have the space matter clean on a different belt. And for me, that's one of the easiest ways of doing it. I could also use a splitter if I wanted to, but I don't. And now we're going to have that space matter clean and tidy on a different belt. And we're going to produce first all those juicy space matter furnaces and put them into a box. I feel very happy about this progression here. It's probably one of the biggest things that we have managed to do in the whole series so far. I mean, it'll take a while until we have a larger stockpile of these things, sure. But at least I'm ultimately at the point where I'm able to build those friggin' space matter furnaces. And, well, power-wise, it is quite a strain. Let's check out how the oil supply over there is running. And yeah, the tanks are actually filling. For me, that's my personal favorite method, to just plug in one more producer than you actually need to make sure that the buffer tanks never can run low, even if these machines are continuously working non-stop. And them dudes here, they're leaking. That's something I need to check out now, if there's going to be a problem with that. So if this drops across the time substantially below 25k, this could be an issue. But, well, I somehow doubt it. Well, something I have to keep an eye out on, but, well, we'll see. Until then, I'm very happy with the things that have happened. Okay, so we can now theorycraft a real production line here. So here we go. We want an output. Let's compute by elements, and we want an output of 15 iron plates. Something very normal. And finally, we can produce that via space matter furnaces. So we're only going to need a meager amount of 46 space matter furnaces to get the ball rolling here. It's almost nothing. Okay. And the worst part is going to be the coal production. But as far as I can see, we can't get any other way. There's no other way of producing coal here. There's no other recipe. And so I guess this will be the full array. We need 17 assemblers for coal, 46 furnaces to just produce the iron itself, and 48 furnaces to get the plates done. This is friggin' large, I gotta say. But there seems to be no other method of getting the job done. So this is pretty rough. And I don't know, does it change anything if we put up a beacon here? Yeah, so beaconing it could be actually a option there. Even a small amount of speed beacons. I mean, we would need 20 beacons, and that would consume 9 megawatt. Get it? It's actually not really worth the pain. Let's see, if we would go for something crazy like that, how much? Well, the power consumption would be a lot lower, just to cut the necessary amount of furnaces in half. Tell you what, that's actually not worth it in my opinion. We just produce lots and lots of furnaces idly. So yeah, there's no... I am quite concerned. This doesn't look like it is replenishing itself, but... since there's still a backup here of that fluid, I think I am just scared for no reason. Okay, so that's that for today. Next episode, we're going to hopefully have enough of these furnaces to get the ball rolling. I'll just let the system idle a bit with that, and we're just going to allocate all that material we need. I mean, I will also need a stupendous amount of landfill, so, well, there's going to be a lot of preparation between this and the next episode. So yeah, my plans are there. We're going to produce coal, copper, and iron next episode, and then we're finally going to dive into the real progression chain. So build a circuit factory and all the wonderful things. But in space, it all takes a little bit longer. So thank you guys so much for watching. It has been my pleasure. Drop your comments down below. Feel free to tell me whatever you have on your mind, and leave a thumbs up on that series to make it more visible. And of course, last but not least, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Daily content popping up there. I'd be super happy to see you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Bye bye.